Hey everybody, this is Chuck Marone with Strong Towns. I got an interesting question the other day at a talk I was giving about aggressive driving. And they wanted me to drill down a little bit on how to actually deal with aggressive driving on streets. And they were willing to kind of go with me with the idea that we've over-engineered and over-designed our streets in a way that, and I'm not excusing aggressive driving, but I am acknowledging in a way that induces people to drive aggressively. Let me explain that, and then let me give the analogy I gave at the talk. If you just look at traffic signals, a traffic signal in this country, you have a very wide street coming into it, wide highway-sized lanes. It signals to the driver, hey, you've got a lot of room here to move. There's nothing really in your way. The only thing in your way is this car in front of you and the traffic signal that's about to turn red or just did turn red. Those are the things that are in your way. During that period of time when you have to sit there at the red light, you are in a sense gifting or allowing the other cross traffic to have the green light. They get to own that space. They get the exclusive ownership of that space. They don't have to share it with you in any way, and you just have to sit patiently. That's your job as a driver at a red light. Now the light turns green, and you now get paid for your patience. The right that you now have earned as a driver is that you get to own the space. The space is wide, the space is clear, the lanes are wide, there's wide shoulders, there's recovery area on the side. Everything is set up signaling to you, hey, you've waited your turn, you've been patient, now you get to dominate this space. It's your turn to dominate. What we have created is a system that vacillates between total domination and total subservience. We do that for the driver, and I'm not trying to sound like some, I don't know. Like I'm talking in psychological terms here. I'm not trying to say, oh, why don't we all just get along? Why don't we all just hold hands? Why don't we? I'm telling you, I feel this in spaces, right? I'm trying to get somewhere. This road's been engineered for me to go 40, 50, 60 miles an hour plus. I'm sitting here having to go 20 because there's a car in front of me going slow. Speed limit's 30. I got to sit at a stop sign. This is a dissonance that you have as a driver between your experience and the system that's been designed for you. You know, you look at car commercials and they nostalgize the open road, right? Sometimes it's driving fast through a city. Sometimes it's driving fast on the open road. But the idea is that you're driving unencumbered on a thing that's designed for high speed, for high performance. When you actually get in a vehicle, you are continuously frustrated by the signals given to you by the road that you should be able to drive fast, that you should be able to drive aggressively, and you can't. Okay. That's not to excuse aggressive driving. That's not to excuse people who do drive too fast. That is just saying that if we want a different outcome, we actually need to not try to fix humans. We actually need to design systems differently. What would that look like? This was the question that I got. What would that actually look like? Now, we can talk about it from an engineering standpoint. I mean, it would mean like the opposite of forgiving design, right? It would mean narrower lanes. It would mean bringing the trees in, getting rid of the recovery area, like actually making it a little bit tighter. But let me talk about this from like a psychological standpoint. I'm going to use the Disney Corporation as an example. The Disney Corporation figured out really early on that people hate standing in lines, right? When you build a theme park, people are there staying in line. They hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. They want to get on the ride. They don't want to stand there all day. So what has Disney done to their environments? Well, you can imagine like everybody standing in one long line, waiting to get on Pirates of the Caribbean. What you would do is you would start to hate the person in front of you. You would start to be annoyed by everything they did. You'd start to be like, oh, come on, get going, right? It's not the person in front of you. They're standing in front of someone else and they're standing in front of someone else. That environment with everyone in one long line creates just tension in humans, in our hearts, in our souls, in our beings. It gives us kind of an artificial tension. Take those people and put them in a winding line. Put them in a line that goes back and forth. All of a sudden, you're standing behind the same people, but you're not focused on them. You're focused on the people coming at you. There's a little bit of curiosity. Oh, that person's kind of interesting. Oh, look at that family dynamic. Oh, you know, she's kind of cute, or whatever it is. You have a little bit of that human watching that humans are so interested in. What they did in the line is they took and they distracted people by making the line curve back and forth. It makes standing in line not such a drudgery. It makes it a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. Add then some of the pre-show elements where they have you, if you're going to go on Pirates of the Caribbean, wind through the caves down to where you get on the ship, right? You know, little things to see here and there. You come around the corner and it looks like you're close. Oh, nope, I'm not close, but oh, I'm in this other room. It's kind of interesting. What Disney did is it recognized how humans react in a space, and then they designed systems to, in a sense, calm them. There's a book I've got called The Architecture of Reassurance. It is all about the design of Disney theme parks to, in a sense, calm down and reassure people as they're in that space. If you wanted to maximize human aggression on our roadways, what you would do is you would design streets exactly as we've designed them. You would signal to the driver that they have ample room, ample space. They own the space, it's their space. They earn the right to kind of dominate it. And then you would stifle that at every turn. You would put up signs, you'd put up traffic signals, you'd put cars in front of them, you'd add bike lanes, you'd put pedestrians crossing. I'm not saying this is a license to make people, you know, antisocial or misbehave, but what it does is it has that effect on a large percentage of population. If we actually don't want that outcome, we have to think about how we design places to calm people down, to actually reduce that factor. And that's not hard to do, but it's a different design ethic. It's a different approach. It's a different way of thinking about what we're doing. And we're just not there yet. There's some great designers that do this, but the engineering profession itself, it's not where we're at. We're still about how do we move cars as quickly as possible with really like fundamental misunderstandings about how we even do that. We can do this a lot better. Go visit your Disney park and take some notes.